here goes nothing. All right, folks, what is happening? I'm Zach Mertens. Welcome back to the Chop Shop. Today, we got some special news for you because it's this truck's 5th birthday. I figured what better way to celebrate a birthday than to give this thing a nice present. It doesn't really need much other than like safety gear and stuff like that, but that's not what we're really concerned about here. This truck was meant to be beat on. It was meant to make power. It was meant to burn tires. So we're gonna do more of that. Luckily for you guys and this truck, I was on the phone with my good buddy Joe from Square Body Syndicate, and he's like, you know what? We need to see that thing making more steam and doing cooler stuff. And I agree. This motor has been in this truck for 5 years now. It's got about 15,000 miles on it. We actually just did the math here. We've been driving the hell out of it and beating the hell out of it ever since. And it has not missed a tick. It is a very good running motor. But there were some things that I did want to upgrade just for safety's sake, like valve train, because at the end of the day, a big block turning some good RPM is a much cooler sounding thing. I called our good friend Jacob Villeman over at Smetting Performance, and he thought it was a pretty good idea that we take and refresh the motor anyway. I think mostly because he doesn't want me taking stuff apart and like, you know, putting new like lifters in and then having to like measure push rods and then screwing that up and then messing up his masterpiece of a 572 that he built. With that said, we're gonna pull this motor out. We're gonna send it back to Jacob. We got all sorts of new Go Fast goodies on it, and he's gonna do a full refresh on this thing. New rods, new rings, new bearings. Gonna hone the block, deck the surfaces, clean everything up. He's gonna see if I've done any damage over this course of time. And then he's got a very special new thing for us too. Jacob has designed some new cylinder heads for the big block that flow a lot more than these AFRs that are on there. Very exciting stuff. We've also got some new goodies that we picked up over at Summit Racing for the valve train. I'll show you those now. All right, so here are some of the new valve train components that we're gonna be putting in the 572 that's in this bad boy. This is not all of them. Some of them I'm having sent directly to Texas, but figured we'd lay it out, show you what we're getting into. One of the things that I definitely wanted to change, the Comp short travel lifters that are in there and the Comp gold roller rockers that are on there. They're like the aluminum ones. They're really light, but like, here's the thing. They're not meant to be just beat on for like extended periods of time and like, you know, a lot of miles. So we wanted to go with something really robust. That's why we're stepping up these Gearstar units here. So these mount very similar to like how an LS rocker mounts, right? Much more stable. They make these kits for all different types of things. These are specific to the heads. So if you want the part number, it is KSS-197070. And that's for the Magnum V2 heads, the AFRs. So we're gonna be running a new head, but it runs a very similar design to what the AFRs do. So these will actually work. I assembled one of these so you can kind of see how that goes down. So these boys tie in like that. That goes like so. And so the rocker actually mounts to this pedestal here. Instead of the bolt being through the center where you kind of adjust your lash based off that, this way you can adjust the lash right on the back, right to the push rod. Really nice, real strong, real solid units. So this would be good. Gearstar, obviously, industry leader, makes good stuff. So while we were in there too, figured we might as well get some new retainers and new seats. And obviously all this other stuff comes with the kit. Bada bing, bada boom. We're also gonna be taking and throwing a new timing chain and gears on because why the hell not? New valve springs from PAC. Part number on that if you want. Right there. And this is like a 700 lift spring. Right seat pressure for the cam that we're running, and the kind of stuff we want to do with it. I run PAC valve springs in pretty much everything I have. So on top of all this stuff, we've also got some new Johnson link bar lifters coming in, which I can throw the part number here on the screen. And we got some new push rods, but we need to get the lifters and basically everything together so we can measure for push rod length, because that's pretty important because you don't want your valves playing a drum solo on your damn piston. Now that we got all that stuff out of the way, there's one thing we need to do with this truck before we take and pull the motor out, and that's finish off a set of tires, because why not? We've got Andrew Hawkins here.
G'day. You know, I stopped in for a quick hello, but really an Australian hello is a burnout.
Yeah.
And I may have seen 1 or 2 burnouts in my time. Just
1 or 2.
You know, working for some of Nat's power crews. Just a couple, you know, like just a couple. You may have even been there for some of them as well. You may have learned a thing or two from my people.
I could have. Hey Blake, get in the danger zone.
I'm here. I'm here for the danger.
You want to party?
Let's party, let's go.
That's some Aussie burnout action right there. Are we on fire? Are we on fire? Blake, I'm asking you.
Are we on fire?
Are you on fire? No, not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, good then.
What's going to be the best way to get this engine out?
We gotta take the wheels off because, well, as you can see, Blazer, a little bit high here. And so what we're gonna do, I really don't like to do this, but I don't wanna take this core support out. I'll explain at another time, but we're gonna pull the wheels off, put the lug nuts back on, set it down on the brake rotors, and hope to God we can get enough room to actually get this big block up and over with the crane. And if we can't, well, we're gonna try to beg our neighbors for the forklift, which holy shit, he just left. So let's hope we can get it out with the crane. Out of the way. A block of wood would probably be a good idea. Now we get the fun part. Do we pull the plugs on the block, or do we just let it drain onto the floor? Let's probably pull the plugs. Much less of a mess. You know, this would have been way smarter to do on the lift. But we're here now, so God help us. Use some bit of intelligence here. Do I only have one? Okay. Well, here goes nothing. Let's oh, look at that, right into the bucket. Damn, that's good. Sort of. just a smidge. Damn, look at this thing low, man. It's kind of sick. So we're not going to be able to get the lift under it because the legs are hitting the front diff. So we have to go forklift. Thank you so much. Hey, yes sir, appreciate it, thank you. Okay, we got a forklift. All right, boys and girls, the motor is out of the K5, and I tell you what, this is an exciting day. Slightly sad though, because you know what? You never want to pull your baby's heart out, but it's for a good cause. We got the Vintage Air Front Runner kit off of it. It is now ready to basically be boxed up, crated, and shipped back to Smetting Performance, where Jacob's actually going to film a whole lot. He's going to do a full teardown, inspect everything, give you the 411 on maybe what I broke if I did, and then he's going to walk you through the process step by step on how he's building this and everything that he's doing. So I'll have links and stuff for that, but you're going to see some of it here. But definitely check out what Smetting Performance is doing, because they build some badass stuff and they've been doing it for a very long time. Fun fact, they were actually the first people to sell crate performance engines, even before GM did. I didn't even know that until like not that long ago, but pretty badass stuff. So we'll see you on the next one, where you're gonna see what went down with this, and you're gonna see it built back up. And hopefully, if there's enough time, I'm gonna get out there and we're actually gonna be there at the dyno to see what this thing makes. And it better make some fucking steam, baby. Don't forget, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. And you know what? Shout out to the boys at Square Body Syndicate for making this all happen. They wanted to see this thing make some power, so they're like, you know what? We're down to back you. If you want one of these hats or the shirts, they got a bunch of cool stuff. All the steering columns that I run in all the Square Bodies, that's all them. There'll be a link in the description below, or this QR code right here. Or here. Whatever place we put it at. Anyway, do the thing. Buy stuff so we can keep doing this. All right, later.